All right, we're live. We're back again. It's been a few days since I haven't live streamed, and it's because I was basically caught up. I had time to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? I live stream when I'm like lagging behind and I need to catch up. Big up everybody watching the stream right now. If you're watching a replay, make sure you like the video, share it with a friend. Drop some thoughts in the comment section down below. Back again with the fire. I know it's kind of early, my time, 5:52 a.m. to be exact. But you got to wake up early and get things done, man. Got a little background music. Want to make sure it's not too loud. So just let me know. Let me know if you think it's too loud or it's at a great level right now. Because I know it doesn't really have to be loud for you guys to hear it, nice level. Let me know in the chat, man. Big up everybody. We're going to talk World Cup football, 2026 FIFA World Cup, baby. Your boy back in the studio doing his thing. I had to dust it off. And I've been in here more and more and more often for the last week. So we're going to get things cracking. Don't want to wait around too much. I do want to wait a little bit, for the audience to gather. So, let me give the people a little bit of time, man. Just a little bit of time. Not a lot, just a little bit. If you're in here, say something in the chat, man. I will definitely appreciate that. Want to share the stream out on the channel. All right. All right. Okay. All right, guys, let's talk World Cup football, man. Let's not linger. Let's do a quick recap of the round of 32 so far. Round of 32, 2026 World Cup. South Africa 0, Canada 1. Brazil 2, Japan 1. Come from behind victory for Brazil there. Germany 1, Paraguay 1. The biggest upset of the round of 32 so far, and probably one of the bigger upsets of the whole World Cup, as a matter of fact. So Paraguay winning 4-3 on penalties. Do you call this an upset, though? Would you call this an upset? I would still call it an upset because most people thought that the Netherlands would take this one. But I did predict Morocco to win. So 1-1 after extra time, Morocco 3-2 on pens. Ivory Coast 1, Norway 2. We click this game. Let's see. Nusa in the 39th. Ivory Coast came back, but Erling Haaland coming up clutch there to win it for the Norwegians. One of the more one-sided round of 32 fixtures so far. France 3, Sweden 0. Kylian Mbappe, Michael Olise, Ousmane Dembele, Barcola, all these guys doing their thing, man. Mexico 2, Ecuador 0. Another one-sided fixture. Mexico scored 2 early goals, managed the game well, saw it out. And Ecuador, one of the more frustrating teams to watch at the 2026 World Cup. Definitely disappointed. And we're here to talk about the games from yesterday. The England 2, DR Congo 1 match. Belgium 3, Senegal 2. And USA 2, Bosnia Herzegovina 0. All 3 games, dramatic, man. When I tell you about dramatic, these games were dramatic. So big up to Marcel. He says, big up Dom. I was getting worried that you abandoned us again. I was like, where is the Dom with the reaction videos? Nah, man, I didn't abandon you guys, man. It's just that life gets in the way sometimes. I actually came down here and recorded the England DR Congo video, but I had to scrap it, man. I had to scrap it. I'm like, yeah, I don't like the way I got like interrupted halfway in between, and I'm like, yeah, I don't like the way it came out, man. I like to make my reaction videos right after the match. Like just, yeah, the match done, talk about the game right away, and doing it the way I did it, I was like, yeah, I have the notes and I find myself, reading off the notes too much. It's like I'm giving you a you know, I'm giving you a little look. The notes is supposed to actually guide you. You look at the notes to remember certain things that you don't want to miss talking about. But to be honest, a true reaction for me is just going straight off the top right after the game. Whatever you remember, you remember. If you don't, it is. But sometimes I'm like, damn, I forgot to talk about this, man. I forgot to talk about this issue, man. Like, this was a big talking point during the match. How did I miss it? So Marcel, let me ask you, man, are you hearing the background music? I put it down really low so it's not like, disruptive. Let me know if you're hearing it. Let me know if you hear it, a subtle background vibe there. Or do I need to turn it up just a little bit more? Let me know, let me know, let me know. I would definitely appreciate that. But yeah, man, this is a lot of work, man. This is a lot of work. Just coming back down here and doing this, it just reminded me of how much work it is, man. A lot of work. Watch games, make notes, do previews, thumbnails. I make sure the thing on point though. You know what I mean? But let me know, man. Let me know how the music sounds. Big up to Victor. How are you guys? Make sure you like the video. Let me know if you're hearing the background music. Talk to me. I'm just trying to get things right as I stream. We'll get into these matches just now. Just want to make sure the thing correct. Oh, you don't hear the music? How about now? I'm there talking about background music and you're not hearing the music. How about now? Let me know. That sound a lot better? Let me know. But in the meantime, between time, guys, before I do talk about these matches, let's do a quick let's just take a look at news, man. Let's see what is there in the news. NYPD helped take out nearly 100 illegal drones over World Cup games and events. Wow. Why are people doing that though? Why are people doing that? World Cup sticker craze brings fans together from New York to San Antonio. I've never collected stickers though. I don't know. I've just never collected stickers. You know. So, Folarin Balogun red card suspension. Can U.S. men's national team appeal with striker missing the next game? So, there's been a lot of things in the news that I have not been talking about. I realized that, right? And I was like, yo, this is something that most people don't talk about. Like, there's a lot of controversial things. Like, I saw a video of the police in the Netherlands beating up the Moroccan supporters who came out in the street. I was like, okay. Yeah, I hear it now slightly. That's all I need, man. That's all I need. I just need you to hear it slightly. I don't want it to be too overshadowing, you know? So with that being said, man, let's talk about the games yesterday. Let's talk about the games. Let me give you my reactions, my thoughts on all three matches from yesterday. And let's start with the England 2, DR Congo 1. What a game this was, man. What a game. Brian Sipenga in the 7th minute, and I was like, wow, are England going to actually lose this game today? Are we going to get some shockwaves sent through the football world? Uncomfortable start for England. And Jed Spence is to be blamed here. And a lot of people have been criticizing the inclusion of Jed Spence. Look, I don't want to pick on the player, but Jed Spence ain't that good, man. Let's just put it out there. He ain't that good. He ain't that good. He could run fast, you know, but apart from that, he's a bit clunky. Let me use the word clunky, you know, and England probably regrets taking him because he got drawn in by Sadiki. Ball played into the box, finds Sipenga, and he smashes it into the back of the net. The man, they said, has never even played like top flight football. So, not that he's expected to be of low quality, you know. He finished that off very, very well to beat Pickford at his near post. And you might say that Pickford should have stopped that ball, you know, but it went in. It went in. So, there was an early collision in the game between goalkeeper Mpasi and Masuaku. I thought the DR Congo goalkeeper would not make it throughout the rest of the game, but he actually did. And judging from what the DR Congo team had to go through coming into this World Cup, dealing with an Ebola outbreak in the country, had to isolate, you know, there was doubt in the camp. There was even news articles circulating say that DR Congo might have to pull out of the World Cup. But these guys are here, back for the first time since 1974, where they represented Zaire. And that was a controversial tournament for them as well, where they got battered and the leader at the time threatened the team that if they conceded, I think, 14 goals, that they wouldn't be able to return to the DR Congo. And they lost all three games badly. And after that, football wasn't really, you know, the thing. They kind of stopped putting the money into the football and kind of shifted to boxing. That's why you had Rumble in the Jungle, you know, back in the 70s. Just a little bit of history there for you, you know. And DR Congo has been trying to get back to the World Cup ever since, and they're finally back with the help, of course, of an expanded version to 48 teams. We're not going to sit here and act as if the expanded version did not help a lot of teams. So definitely helped DR Congo. But I was asking myself, how would England respond to going down 1-0 this early in the match? And I don't think it was a problem going down early in the match, because with England's quality, with the experience, they should be able to come back, you know, just stay calm and come back in the game and just be patient. That's the main thing. Be patient. Patient. And I don't think England were patient enough. I think they actually panicked. They looked rattled, and it could have turned out very disastrous for England yesterday. But they kind of pulled themselves together, and, you know, after the cooling break, they started creating some chances. 38th minute, Bellingham with the header from a Declan Rice cross that was saved by Mpasi Mpasi kept DR Congo in the game like any goalkeeper should. There was a Rashford shot was cleared off the line by Wan-Bissaka, and then a massive block by Twanzebe off of a Kane opportunity. So the chances were coming. But DR Congo was still creating chances of their own. They weren't sitting back and soaking up pressure. They were actually trying to get a second goal, which was not a bad idea. And Johan Wissa almost put DR Congo 2-0 up, but he hit the woodwork. One of the bigger talking points in this match was Harry Kane. I could take a while to analyze this, but I'm not even going to waste my time because that penalty shout, that was definitely not a penalty. So you got to give the referee a lot of credit here. That was a big call in a big match, and he said, no, Harry Kane dived. And he did dive. If you go back and you watch the replay, he did dive. His foot hit the ground, and he shoot off, you know, like if he was at the beach or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, what is desperation? That was nothing but desperation by Harry Kane. So, DR Congo, you know what I mean, they kind of got away there because, listen, it could have been another referee that could have pointed straight to the spot. You know, some of these referees are just hungry, you know, to just give decisions, like give penalties, give cards. But this referee, I think, was quite reserved, and he did his thing. And Posse pulled off a couple other big saves, one from Bellingham, one from Kane, before the game went into halftime. So, listen, man, if it wasn't for that goalkeeper, England would have probably equalized and scored about 2 more. So, he kept his team in the game. But not for long, man. Not for long. Not for long. Bellingham had another shot saved, 53rd minute. So Mpasi was just coming up clutch for the DRC. Kept keeping them in the game. But England kept knocking at the door. They were persistent. All they needed was a little bit of patience, though. Patience. They didn't have that patience, in my opinion. And up until the second cooling break, which was, around 67 minutes or so, the 3 Lions, but at the time they were the 3 Kittens, couldn't knock off DR Congo, couldn't get back in the game. But then Tuchel made some substitutions. Let's go to the lineups really quick and check when these substitutions were made. These substitutions were made just before the cooling break, 68th minute. Saka and Gordon came on, and then just after the cooling break, Eberechi Eze was brought on. So you see fresher legs, more creative players. Jet Spence taking off. Clunky Jet Spence taking off. We had Madueke coming off. Rashford coming off. Rice went to right back. So it put Eze in the midfield to create, offer more creativity there. I got to give props to the new Man City player, Elliot Anderson. He worked hard during the game. He played his ass off, and he was pretty good. Not so creative, but he was very industrious. He worked very hard in the midfield. But as soon as these guys were introduced, it brought a sense of calm and some creative presence where, if you look back at the goal, it was just like a calm, precise, calculated build-up where, okay, pass to him, and then Gordon just chipping it into the box, Harry Kane heading past the goalkeeper, England back in the game. And as you let them back in the game, they weren't going to, listen, at this point, England weren't going to relinquish, well, not relinquish, but they weren't going to allow DR Congo to go ahead again. Once England came back into that game, it was over for DR Congo. You just do not let teams like England, more quality teams, let's say France, Argentina, Spain, Portugal, you get them in a vulnerable position, and you keep your foot on their necks and you stomp. I don't need to sound too violent, but you stomp it, until they're done. And that's how you knock them out. And we've been seeing a lot of situations where the underdog has the better team in a compromising position and fail to win the game. And it happened again. So the second goal came. Bellingham, who was played in behind, he got his shot saved by Mpasi again, who was brilliant. He had a great game. But if it wasn't for Harry Kane, I would have given Mpasi the man of the match. But shot saved, rebound came out, Gordon teed up Harry Kane again, and Kane just shifting across the box and getting that shot. That was a brilliant goal, man. That was a brilliant goal. Put some respect on Harry Kane's name. Put some respect on Harry Kane's name, man. He was brilliant, and he single-handedly, with the help of his teammates, of course, saved England from embarrassment, because this would have been an embarrassing exit from the 2026 World Cup. It would have came under heavy criticism. I think they're still going to be criticized for the performance, but it was a relief for England and their fans coming back into this match, going ahead, holding on to the lead, and this being the first time that they actually trailed at halftime and went on to win a FIFA World Cup match. Thomas Tuchel deserves some credit here. I know anything that happens, you're going to blame him. But when managers make changes that affect the game, that's how they earn their money. But he got to make some better choices going into the next match against Mexico, because let me tell you, man, you can't listen. You could do better than Jet Spence. No disrespect to the young man, but you could do better than Jet Spence. And I know it's because Valentino Livramento got injured before the World Cup, and I think Reece James is currently injured too, or else it would be Reece James there. But I don't know, maybe England need to go with 3 at the back or something. You know what I mean? Play 3 at the back, play some wing backs just to give a bit more creativity. I don't know. I'm just suggesting things that may help going forward. But let's take a quick look at the stats to just wind down this match review. 7 shots at goal, 2 on target, 40% of the ball for DR Congo. Not bad stats in a game that you know where you went ahead early. And this could have been a problem too, you know. You wanna be in an advantageous position, but sometimes for an underdog team, an inexperienced team, never been to a knockout stage match at a World Cup, when you get into a position like that, an unfamiliar position, leading a better team, so-called better team, early in the match, then it's a lot of work to maintain that lead and shut out the opposition. And that was the challenge for DR Congo, and they failed. So they were brave, though. They were brave. It was a valiant effort. But at the end of the day, the better team won. And that was England. Not the most polished performance, but you have to be battle-tested going into the deeper stages of the World Cup if you want to win it. And that's what England want to do. So you can't be breezing through every game and thinking, yeah, we're doing so good. No, you got to be tested. You got to learn how to come from behind. You got to learn how to go through adversity. And that's what England did. 16 shots, 8 on target, 60% of the ball, 493 passes with a 92% pass accuracy. You know, so quality comeback, man. Quality remontada by England. So they will play Mexico in their next game, round of 16 at the Azteca. And for DR Congo, they'll pack their bags and head back to their various destinations. Most of these players are not going back to the DRC because a lot of them wasn't even born there. They will go back to their various destinations, England, Belgium, France, Spain, or wherever they're playing their football. So it's my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. And we're going to move on to the next one. All right, that's my review, guys. Big up everybody in the stream. Victor say Harry Kane is world class. Indeed, man. There's no debate in that Harry Kane is world class. No debate at all. No debate. Marcel said that was a pen. I don't agree with you, Marcel. Kane to the rescue. What a player. If you're in here, drop a comment, man. Drop a comment in the chat. We'll definitely appreciate that. We got Victor saying, to be fair, Spence Reece was poor in first 2 England matches. But the thing is, I don't mind seeing Reece James in there. You know, Reece James is a quality player. No debating. But Spence is just clunky, man. That's just my thoughts, you know. He's just clunky. He's a good player to have to run back and retrieve balls. You know, he's like a poor man's Kyle Walker, if you want to put it that way. You know, they don't offer much in terms of crosses into the box. They just all speed, and they could defend a little bit. You know what I mean? On Kyle Walker's case, he could defend a lot. But in terms of attacking prowess, none. None. That's just my thoughts, though. Mr. Darcy says, world-class finish. Definitely. World-class finish indeed by Harry Kane. So, that's it for that game. Let us move on to the next one. I should have actually went live last night, but I fell asleep, guys. I was very tired. I was up all day, literally. I didn't go to work yesterday, and I was literally up all freaking day watching football, editing videos, writing up content. You know, I've been working hard, guys. I've been working real hard this World Cup, man. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy the grind, though. I enjoy, you know, I look at it like a job. You know, you have to look at it like a job because there's earning potential. You know, there's you gotta have good work ethic to have good results as well. You're not just gonna see results just like that. You know, so when you see someone having success on YouTube, it's because they've been working hard. You know what I mean? They've been consistent. Why? I'm not really seeing a lot of, like, I won't say I've been seeing a lot of success during this World Cup. The last World Cup was a lot better in terms of you know, just how my videos were received and everything. It's because I put in the work, man. I put in the work before the World Cup, but I'm trying to get back. I've been doing my thing. You know what I mean? It's up to how you look at things. It's all about perspective. But from my perspective, yeah, you know, I could have done better. I could have maybe did some World Cup qualifiers. I was just lazy. I was just lazy, man. I was just busy and distracted doing my own thing. But I think I kind of came back and winged the thing, and I did a pretty okay job so far. You know, considering not many people around the world do what I do. You know, because when you think about it, how many people have YouTube channels, like individuals, and they're talking about every single game? You know, they're watching the matches, they're reviewing, they're doing predictions. You know, it's not a thing. People don't really do this. It's not easy. That's the whole thing. It's not easy. So big up to everybody out there who are making videos. All the football creators doing their thing out there, you know. And thank you to all you subscribers, all you football fans for supporting us, you know, come in and watch the videos and just involve in the community. Because without you guys, we would be nothing, man. We would be nothing. And with that being said, guys, make sure you like the video. But as I say, this thing ain't easy, man. It is not easy. You know, because look at me right now. I'm supposed to like be going out, but I'm here. Sacrifice. You know, I'm gonna sacrifice and get things done. Let us move on, man. The next game. Belgium 3, Senegal 2. And let me first say congratulations to Belgium. It was another great comeback. We had back-to-back games where the teams came from behind. But this one felt a bit different, man. You know, I feel it for Senegal. I feel it for Senegal. They must feel like if someone died, you know? That's how it that's the best way to describe it. And if you've experienced that before, you know exactly how it feels. Like Senegal had this. When I told you they had this, they had this. And it slipped away like water in the hand, basically. That's how it slipped away. It's like they had it and they didn't have it anymore. Habib Diarra, 24th minute. And I'm like, wow, I did predict Senegal to defeat Belgium here, and they're making me look good. You know what I'm saying? Let me find my prediction. What did I predict for this one? I predicted a 2-1 win for Senegal. And I was like, I was very confident that Senegal were gonna go on to do this after losing their first 2 World Cup matches in the group stage, coming back, winning the third, and I'm like, yeah, these guys mean business. These guys mean business. And they did mean business. Look at that 24th minute goal against a struggling Belgium team. You know, and I'm like, okay. We might have a are we gonna look at this as could have been a potential upset though? This is the African champion though, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say it would have been an upset. It would have been yeah, most people would have looked at it as an upset, you know. Even though Belgium never won anything in their freaking footballing lives, people would have still looked at it as an upset because of the popularity and the quality of the players, and Belgium, you know, having some of the players from the golden generation still there. Thibaut Courtois, Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, Thomas Meunier, you know, and Yuri Tillemans, and the list goes on. And you have inspirational players like Jeremy Doku, you know, Amadou Onana comes to mind. And I'm like, these guys are favorites, basically, right? Even though they're not playing well, they're favorites. And what Senegal did at the beginning there, amazing, man. Amazing. So, before Senegal scored, Trossard did have a good shot saved. And then Ismail Assar hit the freaking post. Ismail Assar was so frustrating during this game. So frustrating. He hit the post twice. First, before the goal, and then he hit the post, and Diarra knocked in the rebound, 24th minute. And I'm like, okay, these guys are going to do it. And I asked myself, like I always do, how would Belgium respond? And does Senegal keep their foot on the gas? Yeah, Senegal kept their foot on the gas. That's what they did. And credit to them for doing so. So the two teams scrapped it out before Maxim de Kuipers had a brilliant shot saved by the inexperienced goalkeeper. And you might ask yourself, right? Let's take a look at the lineups really quick, right? And you might ask yourself, let's take a look at the Senegal bench. You might ask yourself, okay, yeah, Edouard Mendy did pick up an injury. Was this the best goalkeeper? Could they have used Diouf? You know, you ask yourself that, right? But I guess it is what it is. And maybe Edward Mendy picking up an injury hurt Senegal, even though he was kind of terrible in the earlier group matches. You know, you look at Koulibaly. One time I saw Koulibaly was stripped to come onto the field. Is leaving Koulibaly out entirely a mistake? You see what I'm saying? And I'll get to that. Right? As a matter of fact, before I forget, being 2-0 up. Let me say this before I forget, right? I don't want to lose a train of thought. Being 2-0 up, 51 minutes. Did Senegal lose the plot here? Let's take a look at the players that they took off. They took off these midfield players. And we're going to take a look at when the changes were made. You brought on Lumen Camara, right? So you have Lumen Camara coming in. Then you have Pape Matassa. You took off an attacker in Mbaye. And those three changes were made when it mattered, when they were in the lead. I just want to talk about this briefly. Could Paptia do something a bit different? Did he miss an opportunity to maybe show things up a bit by switching out the center backs, or even bringing on another center back? You have Sek, who I think did brilliant in the game they won, and Koulibaly, even though he has not been at his best, right? So instead of bringing on another midfield at that point, being 2-0 up in the game, you take off a midfielder and you bring on Koulibaly. Play three at the back, and then you take off another one of your defenders and bring on Sek. Because if you look at how the goals were scored, it's because the defenders fell asleep. They were tired. They were tired defending for so long, trying to keep up Belgium. That's just what I see. You know what I'm saying? Because I was analyzing the game after the fact, and I'm like, yo, what if something different was done? But, you know, or even after it went into extra time, attacking changes were made. What if Senegal said, you know what, man, let's take a chance and put it to penalties? But then again, you're thinking about Thibaut Courtois, world-class goalkeeper. He might be hard to beat, you know. Yeah. But credit also goes to Rudy Garcia for making the changes that he made. Because taking off De Ketelaere at halftime, bringing on Lukaku, intent, right? Taking off De Bruyne and Doku and bringing on Raskin and Luka Bacchio, intent. Yeah, these players are wasting my time. Get off the field. And they made those changes. One player that I do think changed the game. I know he had a 4.9 here rating, but Diego Moreira came in and he looked really good. And then you see Thomas Meunier credited here with the assist. He came in the 77th minute, and that's before the goal was scored. So you see the changes here. You see what I'm talking about? So let's just go back. Let's not, go too far ahead. I think I'm right on par. Halftime, the sub made Lukaku, and then Senegal scored again. Brilliant long ball played down. I think that was by Niakate. Really good ball played down all the way to Sarr, who took it down well, turned, slapped it in the back of the net. And I'm like, Jesus, man. Senegal are knocking Belgium out. standing up for the African teams here, knocking out a European, giant. I don't really feel good calling Belgium a giant, but you could call them a giant because they have the quality, And I'm like, Senegal are gonna beat these guys. These guys have been horrible. These guys have been garbage at the World Cup. But Belgium, what they pulled off here, guys, is not something to take lightly. Belgium could have just saved their World Cup and they could have just actually figured things out and figured out the direction that they want to take going into the round of 16 and beyond. Because now they might say, okay, let's go this way. Let's start Lukaku, or let's not play De Ketelaere up top, or maybe you know what, bring in Morera, put Doku on the other side or something. It may have sparked. It may have been a catalyst for something great for Belgium at the 2026 World Cup. The cooling break happened. The substitutions were made. I just talked about maybe, Paptia didn't get his substitutions right. He should have been more defensive. Shut up shop. Just shut up shop. Bring in fresh legs in the defense, and simply just see out the freaking game, man. Just see out the game. Whether it looks ugly or not, see out the game. Failed to do so. 86 minute, Belgium back in the game. And if you go back and you analyze that goal, that was preventable. Very, very preventable. Very preventable. And Thomas Meunier retrieving a ball that looked like it was going out, and the defender didn't actually go with him. You see what I'm saying? For those of you guys who watch the game, you know what I'm talking about. The defender did not go with Thomas Meunier to try to, block him from crossing that ball in, pulling that ball back. And he ran, got the ball, pull it back. Lukaku just, swung it in. No pressure on Lukaku. Or not enough. And once you let these teams back in the game, it's over for you, man. It's over for you. Just like the England DR Congo situation, it's over for you. And we could actually get to a point where we could say, is there a problem with the African teams and the mentality? You see what I'm saying? Do they lack the mentality to see out games against more quality oppositions? Because we're seeing it time and time again. You see what I mean? And it's not happening. It's been happening. Where you're in a position to see out the game, finish off the games, and then you don't because you're doing something you're not supposed to do. The brain disappears. You know what I'm saying? Common sense disappears. Basically. Legs turn to jelly. Because I can't find any other explanation here. What happened? What happened? In my notes, I wrote down WTF. I couldn't believe, I could not believe that Belgium got back in the game. Tillman, 3 minutes later, it didn't take long. 3 minutes later, Senegal screwed up. Goalkeeping error. Trossard with the ball into the box. The goalkeeper could have stayed exactly where he was. Let the defenders deal with it. But he ran out, tried to punch it, missed the punch, and it fell on Tillman's head. Tillman didn't run up and bang that into the back of the net. Nah, the goalkeeper missed this punch, fell on Tillman's head, and it went straight in the back of the net. Straight in the back of the freaking net. 2-2. Game went into extra time, and Belgium were a better team in extra time. Senegal, they looked desperate and, everything but that was after they conceded. VAR awarding the penalty, and I think that came just after the Dodi look back your chance that was missed. I don't know how he missed that, but he missed it, blasted it over, and I was like, okay, this game is going to penalties. But yeah, there was a penalty. On VAR review, the referee looked back at the screen and deemed that the Senegalese player fouled the Belgian player in the box. Two of them were going for the ball, and he kicked away the player's leg. So that was a foul on Yuri Tillemans. I think that's what I wrote down. I didn't get to write down who the Senegalese player was, but it was not intentional. It was just two players going for the ball, and unfortunately, the Senegalese player didn't really look behind him. He wasn't careful enough, and a gut-wrenching point to the spot. Tillemans stepped up, put it past the goalkeeper. Senegal tried. They tried. They really tried. They had a few opportunities, but they snatched at it, and they tried to get back in the game. But at that point in time, Senegal were out since the 89th minute. You allow Belgium to get back, the adrenaline pumping through their blood. They were all of a sudden the better team because the momentum was now with Belgium, and with Senegal, the doubts had kicked in. You know when the doubt kick in, the ability disappears? That is exactly what happened. And credit goes to Rudy Garcia, man. This was a comeback for the ages. This one will be talked about for some time. The great escape pulled off by Belgium. Well done. 3-2 after extra time. Belgium move on. Senegal go home. And the crazy thing is, let's take a look at the bracket. Belgium will play the USA, and that is a good matchup. For Belgium would go into this game thinking we can absolutely 100% defeat the USA. 100%. I think we've seen this fixture before too. 100%. 100% they can do it. So you see Spain, Austria, Portugal, Croatia, those games are playing today. And they will meet one of these teams potentially in the quarterfinal, whoever goes through this USA-Belgium game. So let's just talk hypothetically here. All of a sudden, Belgium go from looking horrible in the group phase, making it out, looking horrible again in the round of 32, saving their behinds after being 2-0 down. Let's say they beat the USA, and all of a sudden they're in the quarterfinal of the 2026 World Cup. And by the time you get to the quarterfinal, you would have figured things out. Players would have had, minutes under their belt, minutes in their legs, and they would be well oiled. They would be clicking, cohesive. They're not gonna be a pushover. For whoever they play, they're not gonna be a pushover in a quarterfinal game. So you could see Belgium potentially get into the semis. You see what I'm saying? And potentially the final. Don't write them off now. We can't write them off anymore. We can't. We really can't. So just to do a quick recap of the stats, let me touch the stats really quick to round things off. 21 shots at goal for Belgium. It was a good game, end-to-end stuff. Not very clinical, but 21 shots, 5 on target. You should have seen more shots on target. The goalkeepers didn't really have much to do. So 21 shots, 5 on target, 53% of the ball, 629 passes, 89% pass accuracy there. For 22 fouls committed by Belgium. They were physical. They wanted this. For Senegal, 19 shots, 5 on target, 47% of the ball, 553 passes with an 86% pass accuracy, 11 fouls committed. You know, they didn't rough up the Belgians enough, in my opinion. 2 corners taken. Yeah. Poor game management. Senegal shot the bed. Simply put, Belgium, I'm not going to say they deserve the victory. I think Senegal deserved to win this game based on how they played for the first 85 minutes of the game. But after that, they lost the plot, and Belgium pull off the hijack. That's my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. Big up everybody in here, man. We got David Lampard in here. Big up yourself, David. Mr. Darcy, why didn't they just park the bus for 5? That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Park the freaking bus. At 80 minutes, 80. As soon as it hit 80 minutes, Dennis Bergkamp said, Senegal made me crash out. I was rooting for them to win. As soon as it got to 80 minutes, you park the bus. Bring on 2 defenders. That's what I'm going to say. Listen, bring on 2 defenders. Take out a midfielder. Pack up the defense. Take out one of your defenders, the more tired defender. Take him out so you have fresh legs. Nah. You want to keep these guys on the field. These guys look knackered. You know how hot it was yesterday? It was so hot yesterday. Let me give you a fun fact. It was so hot yesterday, I did not even leave the house. I went outside to pick up a package. I didn't leave the house. I didn't step outside. I reached out and picked up the package. That's how hot it was. With that being said, let's move on. We got one more match to talk about. I feel good, man. It's early. I haven't had breakfast yet, but I feel good. I'm glad I made the decision to actually do this live stream and do the match reviews in this format, because let me tell you, man, I attempted to do this last night, and I don't really like the way the video was coming out at all, man. You know, I like to do my videos straight off the top. You see, like how I just did these 2 match reviews, and I did them straight off the top live, basically. I had notes and everything, but it's still straight off the top, like no edits. That's how I like to do my thing. When I'm recording and I have to edit, I'm like, God, you know, I got to edit this. It's just the time-consuming nature of the editing. That's all. That's all it is. But edited videos do well. They do well because it would have been intentional and you would have a plan and everything. You know, I have some ideas for some videos, man. I've been looking back at my channel and I'm like, yo, those videos used to do good. You know, like the football jersey videos, you know, reacting to jersey releases, you know, buying jerseys, trying on the jerseys. Those videos actually are like evergreen. They always get views, and that's the type of content I should have been doing a lot more of, you know, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. You know, you know what kind of content I always wanted to do? I always wanted to go out looking for jerseys, like go to like Burlington and just go jersey hunting, football jersey hunting, you know, and then actually not wear the jerseys, maybe sell the jerseys, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. You know, I'm old now. It's hard to find time to do those things. But I think I'll try something like that in the future, though. I'll definitely try something like that. Go jersey hunting. I want to buy a camera and just stick the camera on. Not a GoPro or anything. It's like a Insta 360, I think it is. But it's small. You could wear like a magnetic pendant, and then you put the camera right there, so it's like very discreet. And I could go in the store and look for jerseys, because I used to do that. And I'm like, yo, this would be fire content to just see what I find. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even have to buy the jerseys. I could just go and look for the jerseys and find them. I could even buy them and return them. Just to make videos, man. But anyways, with that being said, let's move on to the third and final game from yesterday. USA 2, Bosnia 0. And the USA just showed us a masterclass in how to go ahead, be in the lead, manage the lead, get a red card, still manage the lead, go ahead, hold on to the lead, win the game, and it was an amazing display yesterday, man. You could say it was an amazing display by the USA, or you could either say Bosnia and Herzegovina weren't good enough, because they simply weren't good enough. They weren't. At the end of this game, I was very disappointed in what I saw from Bosnia and Herzegovina. You're showing intent when you're in a desperate situation. When you know you're 2-0 down, that's when you're trying to play. When they go down to 10 men, all of a sudden you're trying to play football. Now you're trying to play football. All of a sudden you're trying to play football. You were not playing throughout the whole game, but now you're trying to play. But Demirovic, he had a shot saved early in the match, 9th minute, and Ali Begovic almost put in an Olympico from a corner. So they started the game, in a decent fashion. Not gonna say, they didn't. But USA had a penalty shout, 38th minute, for Folarin Balogun, and that could have been given. Balogun had a weird period there. Like that 15 minutes from the penalty shout, then he scored, and then it was given offside after he celebrated, and then he finally got his goal. Malik Tillman with the pass, the through ball, it deflected off of a couple defenders, and well put in by Balogun. 1-0 to the USA. And I think the USA deserved the lead up until that point, even though Bosnia, they had chances of their own. But the way they were playing, it's like, I think Bosnia should have tried to take the game to the USA, but that's not their style. That's the thing. That is not their style. They were trying to play this scrappy football, And the USA are a team that are going to play expansive football. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how they're going to manage it against Belgium, but they might actually play an expansive style of football, which would match Belgium's style and could probably, perform well against Belgium. I don't see the USA sitting back and soaking up pressure like that. You see what I mean? So for Bosnia, sometimes you just got to switch it up, man. And they didn't. They were trying to use that method, the try and tested method that got them back to the World Cup during qualifiers. Because if you go a little bit down a rabbit hole really quick, right? And we look back at 1-1 versus Canada, right? Scrap that out. They did score first in this game and couldn't hold on, right? They got battered by Switzerland. Then they came back and they got the better of Qatar because they showed a lot of intent in that game. And that's how they should have played the USA on the day, right? But if we go back to how they qualified for the World Cup, look at this, right? Look at their last 3 games here. 1-1 versus Austria, right? The Wales game, 1-1. They won on pens. Italy, 1-1. Red card for Italy. Bosnia won on pens again. So you know what Bosnia's idea of winning this game was, right? Taking the game all the way. Because they had, I think, they might not admit it, but Bosnia and Herzegovina seem to have an inferiority complex. Like they just give the historically better team more credit. Maybe more credit than they deserve. And they look to, play a scrappy game, grind out a result. It's been a working formula for Sergei Barbarez and his men, but it didn't work on the day. The USA were a bit too hot to handle. I'm just talking up the USA, boy. But it was a good game. It was a good game because the goal scored, USA went up. Folarin Balogun almost made it 2-0. He hit the crossbar. Pretty close. Second half, disaster struck for the USA. The red card, the Balogun red card came. It was kind of a harsh red card, though. I think a yellow card would have been good enough for this one. Because if the referee didn't see it in real time, if you didn't see it in real time and you didn't give a yellow card in real time, just give a yellow card. You know what I mean? It wasn't intentional. It wasn't a dangerous play. Why send off the kid, man? You know what I'm saying? He's having a good game. He scored. He's on top of the world, on top of his game, and you send him off. So now he's going to miss the next game, and potentially that could be it for the World Cup, right? If the USA fail to beat Belgium, that could be it for the World Cup. But kudos to the USA, man. They kept Bosnia at bay. They even had a few attacks where Pulisic scored, but the goal was deemed to be offside. He was offside. And up until that point, Bosnia and Herzegovina were not happy with some of the refereeing decisions that were made. And ironically, why weren't they happy when they had a man advantage? They had, Folarin Balogun got sent off by the same referee. You could see the Barbarez protesting. He even picked up a yellow card, but he was adamant about some of the decisions that went against them. And, they were just losing the plot. At this point of the game, you're 1-0 down. You stay calm. You have a man advantage. You try to put together some decent passes and get in behind. And they look decent at times because at that point, look. Let me explain to you. You have Demirovic. You have Ali Begovic on the field because these guys are some of the more decent players. Then Mamic came off the bench, and Mamic looked very, very bright. If Bosnia held their poise, kept their nerve, just kept calm, and just tried to be patient and build up the play, build it up, take it down the wings, put it in the box, put more crosses in the box, take a couple shots from distance, they could have easily got one back, and they could have easily taken the game to penalties and knocked the USA out. Failed to do so. Give away a free kick on the edge of the box. Malik Tillman stepped up and he dispatched it beautifully, reminiscent of great free kick takers like David Beckham, Andrea Pirlo, Juninho comes to mind. Classic. USA wins it 2-0. 10 men, no problem. Bosnia goes out in a whimper. They got to go back to the drawing board and try to get back to the 2030 World Cup in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. Hats off to Edin Dzeko. He tried, but he wasn't as effective as we all thought he would be this World Cup. So he might actually retire after this. And for Bosnia, they need to develop, they need to develop some more talent, and they need to discover that new talisman, that player that's going to make a difference for them. I think they lack a lot of those type of players. They have a few that show promise, like Begovic and Demirovic and Mamic, but you need that player that's going to step up in these times. You see these type of times? You see what Lukaku did? You see what Tillemans did? You see what Harry Kane did? You look at the Brazil comeback, these Brazilian players, they needed something like that. But Bosnia ain't no Brazil, so what am I saying? So guys, that's my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. 2026 World Cup, baby. It's been good. Not gonna lie. So that's my review, guys. 3 matches. We've been live for 1 hour. Not bad at all. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. And I have some bonuses for you guys. Might as well, right? Might as well get them done. Strike while the iron is hot and the opportunity is here. I got some bonuses for you guys, man. What do you guys say about some bonuses? Those are you guys who are here for the stream. I know it's early. Nothing's really going on in terms of, any matches or whatnot. So there's, people are going about their day doing their thing, so. But I have, I actually wrote up round of 16 previews, Canada, Morocco. And I wrote up the France, who France are playing again? Paraguay, France. I have the Paraguay, France preview. So I'm actually going to do that. Man. Yes, sir. Want that bonus pay? Yep. David Lampard, Belgium are getting better every game. More off-squad players will get more playing time and get oiled and ready. At least Belgium can go to the semifinal. I do believe that now. I definitely do believe that now. I'm gonna go. Let me tell you. Going into the USA game, Belgium are favorites going into the USA match, man. They are favorites. Definitely favorites, man. You know what I was looking at? When you looking at my background, right? Some of those things just is a reminder of how long I've been doing this. Champions, Premier League 21-22. Carabao Cup Final. Treble. The treble of 2018-19. That's the domestic treble. And then we had the treble, European trophy included. Oh, man. Let me see. You have the final, 2020 final. Oh. Bayern Munich. Who would play that final? Bayern Munich. Was it Bayern Munich PSG? Yeah, Bayern Munich PSG. Look at that. PSG. I think that was their first final. And now look at these guys are winning it every year. But yeah, man, I need to buy some more football memorabilia to put up in the background. Some more scarves. I was looking at some World Cup scarves, you know what I mean? I was. If you guys check the FIFA website, let's check the FIFA website really quick, guys. I'm gonna show you guys. Let's go to the FIFA website really quick. And I'll show you guys what they have up there for sale. Just some World Cup memorabilia. Let me see. FIFA store. Yeah. Give me 1 second. All right, so you check the FIFA store here, guys. Let me go back over here. Check the FIFA store. You can see they have some stuff, right? They have stuff on sale. Like whenever a team get knocked out, the stuff goes on sale. So they have these little squishmallows thingies. They have hats, 25% off. Trucker hats here for the destinations, you know, t-shirts, Tunisia, you know, but the scarves, I like the scarves. They're for $20 though. Turkey scarf, you know. They have some hats, you know, Tunisia, Jordan. Because these teams are knocked out. Nobody want to buy their stuff because they sucked, you know. So they knocked out. So they put the stuff on sale because it's either you put it on sale or they go to waste. They need to drop these scarves a bit lower though. Maybe like $10. If they drop these scarves down to $10, I'll buy like 4 of them. Oh man, but yeah, you know, you have the Qatar scarf here. Cause these teams got knocked out. I think there's a South Africa one too, you know. But you have Uruguay. Once you get knocked out, your scarf goes on sale. Price gets slashed down. Germany. This is not a bad one to get though. This is not a bad one to get, the Germany scarf. But it's a flip-flop scarf, so you could just have FIFA World Cup 2026. I'm going to buy one of these, though. I'm definitely going to buy one of these just to put on the wall. Yeah. Put it on the wall, man. I'm going to buy one. For sure, without a doubt. Look at that. Look at the Germany scarf here. Deutschland. But I'm not going to get this one. I'm going to get one of these. This one, I'm going to buy with the says FIFA World Cup and put it on the side that says FIFA World Cup. I'm going to get one of those before they're sold out. You know, so that's just some ideas for you guys. You see the Netherlands, their stuff go on sale too because they got knocked out. But once you're still at the tournament, your stuff is not on sale. You know, you have all the jerseys. You have, you know, a lot of jerseys and stuff. Yeah. All right. Put up a picture on the wall of you when you were in the cop witnessing an L. Ha 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 ha. Funny, Marcel. Funny. Funny. Ha 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 ha. But yeah, though, yeah. You know. Ah, boy. Just looking back at this wall right now. Ah, boy. Just bring back a lot of memories, man. All my FIFA cards up there. The little one. I have 3 of them on the. Oh, man. They just bring back so much memories, yo. You know. Sometimes I look back at the videos and I'm like, yo, man. I'm like, yo. Yo. Shit. I'm like, those were some times, man. Those were some good times, man. I'm like, people don't know what I had to go through, man. What I had to sacrifice. I sacrificed. You know, just the wall is just a great example, man. Great example of that. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. But yeah, I like this playlist that I was actually playing though. Yeah, that playlist is fire. And I can't even remember what playlist I'm playing, but I like the playlist. But yeah, we in a little intermission right now. I am gonna do the previews. I don't want to make them too long though. I want to make them too long, but I have the Canada Morocco preview to do. I think I could do that, get that out, and write up 2 more. Do 2 more tonight. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, do 2 more tonight, and tomorrow do 2 more. I need to get them out, man. While you being off YouTube, life, man, life. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. Doing football content is a lot, guys. You know, that's not every time you feel like watching the games, and then when the international break comes around, you're like, yo, man, I just need a break from this football, man. You know what I'm saying? I just need a damn break, yo. You know, so when So when what you call it, international break come around, I'm like, yo, I don't want to talk about no international football right now. I mean, I just talked about the club football all month, every day of the week, just football, football, football. Um, it's more personal, man. It's more work. It's more personal because I I've always worked. Even before, I've always worked. You know, I always work hard. I always work my job, put in overtime. But then I made a decision to say, you know what, man, I need to fall back a bit, you know? The time I'm putting into this and what I'm getting out of it, it ain't matching up. You see what I mean? It ain't matching up. Maybe I wasn't having fun with it anymore. But now the World Cup is here. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. And I could actually see myself, I could see myself approaching it in a way where I'm gonna have fun. You see what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it right now. I think I'm gonna do it in a way where it's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna basically put myself under a crazy amount of pressure. You see what I mean? If you get what I'm saying, you know, when the season comes back around, Premier League, of course, Premier League, I'll try to watch my highlights. You know, I'll try to do roundups for the matches like I used to do, man. You know, it's not hard. It is not hard at all. It's just that, you know, I was just not focused on that, man. Like last season, I was just watching Man City games. City playing, I'm watching the games. The other teams, I'm like, yo, man, I don't even care. I could care less. Seriously. Like, I could care less about a Sunderland versus Bournemouth match right now. Like, I got better things to do. That's the way I was looking at it, you know what I mean? I wasn't even putting the game in the background. I wasn't even watching highlights, you know? But I think I need to change. I want to change that. I want to change that. I want to. Doing this is good. Doing a little YouTube, you know, something like this is good. You ask a lot. Sometimes you ask people, you say, hey, do you have a hobby? What's your hobby? Man, they don't even have a hobby. Their idea of a hobby is probably doom scrolling on TikTok or IG Reels, Facebook Reels, you know what I mean? YouTube Shorts. That's the idea of a hobby, you know? But what we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna get some work done. I'm gonna get some work done today. It's all about putting in the work. You don't have to use all your time to do this. You just have to do it when you need to do it, and then you go to work, you do whatever else you have to do, and then when you have some free time, you could actually come back and do this again. So we have a comment here I didn't read. Also, USA survived more like Bosnia survived. USA scores with 10 men and were the better side even with 10 men. Bro, USA didn't survive. They prospered. Yeah, they did survive, man. You go down to 10 men, the team get a goal. You know what happened to you after that? You know what happened to you after that, man? Doubt starts to set in. You know, your legs don't work anymore, you know, because your mind is on losing and the team comes back into the game. It happens all the time. So, pretty much. So, let me go back to the. Let me go back. Okay. World Cup. All right. World Cup. Let me not go to the website I was about to go to there. So, gotta be very careful. Um, let's talk World Cup matches, man. Before we do that, Spain Austria today at 3 p.m. So basically, I have all day. There's no football all day, none until 3 p.m. So if I want to do other stuff, I could do other stuff. I don't have to be watching football, right? Then Portugal, 7 o'clock. There's some time in between the games. And then at 11 p.m., Switzerland, Algeria. I will be watching this one too because this one is a late game. And I'm off from work tomorrow. So I'll watch that one too. Tomorrow we got Egypt, Australia. This one's going to be a big game. A chance for either one of these teams to go to the round of 16, which will signal a successful World Cup, to be honest. Cabo Verde, Argentina. Could we see a massive upset here? Don't think we will, but you never know. And this will be a very good game. Ghana, Colombia. Very, very good game. So we have the African teams here still alive: Algeria, Egypt, Cabo Verde, and Ghana. Are we going to see at least one of them or two of them stay in the tournament? Because the way I've seen things is Morocco is an African team. Even though they're North African, they're still African. But they've adopted a different style of football. It's like they're matching up with the Europeans now. You see what I mean? They're not playing that rigid, high energy type football no more. It's that calm, cool, collected, highly skilled, quality football. And if you watch a lot of African football, sometimes the quality isn't there. If you look at some of the pitches, it's like, wow, okay. You see what I'm saying? So it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Marcel said, I used to enjoy your Premier League roundup stream, stop content breaking down the games. Yeah, those used to be hard too. I remember doing some of those. I'm there doing some of those, man. I was falling asleep. Oh man. But what I like doing though, to be honest, I like doing the Premier League roundups, but I like doing it in video format. But for the new season, I'll be doing the Premier League roundups. I won't be doing a lot of them like in the studio like I am right now. Belgium have a big USA problem. Incredible Stan talking about my Australia video. Yeah, so I'll be doing a lot of those streams with my cell phone in the car. Get off work and just stay in the van. Just stay in the van and get it done. Once you stream, once you get it done, that's the most important thing. Done is better than perfect, man. You don't need to be perfect. Just get it done. Simple. Just get it done. Balogun being out, I don't know. Could be a better game than we think. Big up to Kev. Look, that's why you have a team. You got to make the proper changes. That's going to, replace Balogun. But Balogun will be a big miss because I don't rate Ricardo Pepi at all. Pepi, I remember when Ricardo Pepi came out, man. He was hot. Kev, big up yourself, man. Says, big up, Dom. Thanks for all your coverage. Listen, Pepi, when he first came on the scene, was very good. If I could use the word very good to describe Pepi. But he was decent, man. You know what I mean? He was decent. He came off hot, scoring a lot of goals. And then Pepi I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because he got to move to Europe or whatnot. I don't know what happened, but this guy just became a terrible footballer. And I still think he's a terrible footballer. You guys might not agree with me, but Pepi, when last did Pepi, when last did he have a great game, for the USA? I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole right now, though. Let's focus. We got some big previews to do. So let me get those previews done. Let me get the previews done, man. You know, you know how I actually saved myself a lot of work too, because I made clips from my round of 32 prediction video. I just clipped every single match and put them out, which was pretty smart. Some of them got traction, some of them didn't. You know, but this is more of me just doing what I need to do, documenting the 2026 World Cup. Because if you look back, if you look at my channel, it's about documenting history. You can search right now, right? You can search right now. 2018 World Cup, Japan versus Belgium reaction, and you have an idea of what things were from back then. You see what I'm saying? Simply because your boy, and others covered the tournament. And let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? You go to the channel right here and you come down, bam, 2022 World Cup. There's a proper documentation of that World Cup right there. And I really enjoyed the covering this World Cup because I took time off from work. You know, I was in the studio. Everything was like done before the tournament, like my templates, how my thumbnails would look, you know, my designs, all the previews. You know, I was that guy. You see what I'm saying? You see a lot of these guys doing the World Cup now. I was that guy, yo. Look at that, right? Look at that. You just look at that. Combine 11s, you know, the reaction to the Brazil loss to Croatia. You know, look at that England Senegal preview. You know, just the thumbnails, man. Everything was just freaking nice. It was just lovely. Look at that Ghana, Uruguay. Look at that. Look at that. Look at these thumbnails, man. You know, you go back to 2018. Look at this. 2018. That was my first World Cup. You could see the improvement, you know, but I've always had a cheat code when it comes to the thumbnails. I always use stuff from FIFA. Always. Always, man. You know, it's a World Cup. You got to incorporate their thing. But look at that. That was me at the back, in the backyard at the garage right there. That was a classic spot where I used to go make the videos outside, you know? Look at that, man. Look at that. I've been doing this thing a long time. 2018 World Cup. Look at this thumbnail. That was classic, man. The Belgium Brazil game, that was classic. So it's going down memory lane a bit there, man, you know. Look at that. Look at the work I used to put in, man. 4 years ago, the CONCACAF project. That was the plan, to just go all in with CONCACAF, but fell off. I gotta start again. My CONCACAF videos used to be some of the most fun videos to do, and people used to respond really well to the CONCACAF videos. You know, now I put out something CONCACAF, nobody wanna watch. My tail list videos. I remember, this tail list video I did for the 22 World Cup. Oh, yo, that was on fire, yo. I need to start doing more of these kind of content, man. You know what I mean? I got you guys. You know what I mean? I got y'all, man. I got you. Football kits. Look at that. Real versus fake. Mystery unboxing. Man City shirt reviews. Look at that. That was a thing. Every season. City shirt reviews. Oh, man. My other channel. Domination. Oh, man. I really fell off, guys. You were in your glory, man. Pioneering the game. Indeed, man. You look at a lot of these guys. I don't, you know, big up to them, but I don't hear from them anymore. You know, most of them, I don't hear from them anymore, but, you know, I think there's still love there. But I don't hear from a lot of people anymore, you know. People don't look up to me no more. You know, I'm like that player who used to be good that fell off and trying to get back in the game. That's who I am right now. I still got it, right? I think I still got it. But with that being said, guys, just having a little bit of fun there. Let's talk, man. Let's go back and let's do some previews. Let me do these 2 previews. Let me bang them out one time while I'm here. Let's start Canada versus Morocco. The first match in the round of 16 of the 2024. I need to go again. Why did I say 2024? 2024, you know. 2024. Focus. 2024. So, guys, we got Canada versus Morocco, the first round of 16 match of the 2026 FIFA World Cup round of 16. This game will be played Saturday, July 4th, Independence Day in the USA, and it will be played in Houston, Texas. So, how did these teams get here to the round of 16? For Canada, they defeated South Africa 1-0, courtesy of a 92nd minute winner from Steven Estacio. I did predict South Africa to advance, so Canada did prove me wrong. And as one of the co-hosts, they keep their tournament respectable by getting to the round of 16. This is uncharted territory for Canada because this is the first time they're making it to the knockout stage of any World Cup. So kudos to Canada. As for Morocco, their match between themselves and the Netherlands in the round of 32 finished in a 1-1 draw after extra time, and Morocco prevailed 3-2 on penalties. Even with that happening, the Dutch are still unbeaten since the 2010 World Cup final that they lost. So since then, they have not lost a game. They always get knocked out via penalty shootout. But the Atlas Lions advance, knocking off one of the European giants, just like they did back in 2022 when they knocked out both Spain and Portugal. Could we see another repeat here by Morocco? Could they go all the way to the final this time, surpassing what they did 4 years ago in Qatar? So, as I said, this is uncharted territory for Canada. They would feel like, where am I? You know, where am I? Or would they say, hey, man, hey, we got here. We're going to fake it till we make it. We're going to act like we've been here before. And we're just going to stay calm, cool, collected. We're not in Canada. We're not in Toronto or Vancouver, but we're in our neighbor's backyard. You know, we're gonna take our time and we're gonna handle this situation. We got this. Is this how Canada approach this game? For Morocco, this will feel like deja vu. Like they will be touching themselves, not touching themselves, pause, but they would be pinching themselves, saying, whoa, what is going on? What is going on? We're making another fairy tale run at the World Cup? Damn. So it's looking like Morocco could do something special once again. So in terms of the head-to-head between Canada and Morocco, the two teams have met on 4 previous occasions with 3 wins for Morocco and 1 draw, with the most recent clash coming at the 2022 World Cup in Group F, where Morocco won that game 2-1. So Canada definitely has some catching up to do, having never defeated Morocco. So if they are to move on, to the quarterfinals, they would have to do something that they've never done before, and that's defeat Morocco. And as a matter of fact, they don't even need to beat them. All they need to do is to draw the game, take it to pens, and handle business there. But as we've seen from Morocco, that might not be the route you want to take because these guys, that's what their specialty is. Go back to 2022, you see exactly what I'm talking about. Against the Netherlands, you see exactly what I'm talking about. So this is going to be a hell of a game, if I do say so myself. So players to watch for both Canada and Morocco. So I've written down a few players that I identify that could actually be an influence on this game. Not that the other players can't be an influence to this game, but when you have team sport, you need individuals to put their hands up. And when you're in a difficult situation, you need individuals who are going to make a difference. Like, just for example, let me give you a perfect example. England down versus DR Congo. Who put their hands up? Harry Kane, Anthony Gordon. These guys put their hands up and say, hey, we're going to make a difference for this team, and we're going to get a country out of a hole here. And that's exactly what they did. So when I say players to watch, this is me just identifying talismanic players who I think could actually influence the game. For Canada, I'm going to go for Alphonso Davies. He's back from injury. He featured in the last game. And I think him coming off the bench actually inspired Canada to go on to win that game narrowly late in the dying embers against South Africa. So his experience and skill can galvanize this Canadian team in this pivotal clash against one of the most spirited and talented teams in world football, a top 10 FIFA ranking team in Morocco. Jonathan David. In my opinion, he has been an absentee in the last two games since the hat-trick against Qatar. Jonathan David has just been a shadow of himself. And Jesse Marsh has to make a decision here. I'm not going to go as far as to say drop him, but you might need to drop him. Bring in Promise David. You see what I'm saying? Or bring in another play. Bring in Laren from the start. Drop Jonathan David. Bring him off the bench. See what he can do off the bench because he's been absent. You see what I'm saying? He has been absent since that Qatar match. And you could say for the first match, Jonathan David has to step up if Canada ought to get something from this game. He has to put his hands up, and he has to make a difference. A player I identify is also Derek Cornelius. I know it's not a player that a lot of people talk about, but he had a big performance in the game against South Africa, and he gives his all. And these are the type of players that you want in your 11, players that are going to take responsibility. And I think Cornelius has been very good defensively and in set-piece situations as well, causing havoc in the box for opposition defenses. For Morocco, Achraf Hakimi, of course, he's the heartbeat of the team. And even though he missed the penalty in the shootout, he has to have short memory. You know, I'm not going to say have amnesia. Like, don't forget everything. Pardon me there. Don't forget everything. But forget it. Move on. Morocco won the game. Don't think about the penalties. Actually, if Morocco gets into another situation like that, step up again and take another penalty. You see? At least he wasn't like some of the players from Germany where you see that video circulating of Joshua Kimmich asking players like Goretzka Nathaniel Brown, Anton, and Co. Do you want to take a penalty? And they were just they're chickening out. So I think Hakimi would step up and take another one if he's needed. Ismail Saibari. He has now signed for Bayern Munich, and the man is a workhorse. He just runs the entire game. He is strong. He's robust. He's skillful. He's a menace for opposition defenses. So I think he has been Morocco's best player so far at the World Cup, and he's going to prove to be a handful for the Canadian team in this game. Guys, in terms of lineups here for Canada, you might ask the question, will Alphonso Davies start the match? Does Jesse March want to risk starting him here or use him off the bench? I'm going to say this could be Canada's final game of the World Cup. Ah, boy, this is going to be hard. It's a tough decision. But if he played, I'm going to say start him. But at the expense of who? Do you want to drop Larea? I think Larea has been very good. Alistair Johnston has been very good too. I think keep both Johnston and Larea in the team and play Alphonso Davies as a forward. I think you should play Alphonso Davies as a forward. You see? And the other question is maybe a Promise David from the start. I don't think that's going to happen, but let's see what Jesse March does. He has to tweak the team going into this match. He has to make a few changes because this will be a tougher opponent than South Africa for sure. This will be an opponent that carries a serious goal threat, unlike South Africa. For Morocco, you asked the question, do you change an 11 that knocked out the Netherlands? But in my opinion, I could see Sofiane Amrabat coming into this game, or maybe even getting a look in for maybe a Buhari, alongside Azadine Onahi in the midfield. I could see that change being made to just keep things fresh, or maybe another change. But I don't see more than one or two changes being made here by Mohamed Ouabi against Canada after coming off of a victory against the Netherlands. But maybe going 120 minutes, you want to make a few changes just to keep things fresh. You see what I mean? So my prediction for this one, Canada with a 20% win probability, Morocco with a 53% win probability, and 27% chance of a draw taking the game into extra time. This is no way, shape, or form influencing my prediction. I just want to give this for information purposes. What's my prediction for this game? Morocco go into the match favorites based on how they've played so far at the World Cup. Let's just take a quick look at Morocco and their matches so far. 1-1 against the Netherlands, 4-2 win against Haiti, 1-0 against Scotland, and a 1-1 draw against Brazil. Yeah, you heard it right. So these dudes are unbeaten. But if you see, they do let in goals. Not a lot, but they do let in goals. Scotland didn't get a chance to score in this game, but, Canada a more front-footed team than Scotland. You pressure them, they will let in a goal. But could you keep them out? Because you could see in every game they've scored. Even against Brazil, even against the Netherlands, they've scored. And against Haiti, they scored 4. So this game will have goals. It will have goals. Is it going to be a close match? It's left to be seen. if we go back, we check out Canada. See what they've been up to. 1-0 against South Africa. 2-1 loss to Switzerland. We get those other games up. 6-0 win against Qatar and a 1-1 draw to Bosnia and Herzegovina. So, yeah. Guys, this one is going to be a struggle for Canada, I think. I think getting to the round of 16 is a great achievement for a CONCACAF team like Canada with no history in the knockout stage of the World Cup. And to get past the round of 32, to get to a fifth match is a great achievement. Listen, Mexico has been trying to get to a fifth match since God knows when. And Canada has done it. Canada's done it coming back to the World Cup after hiatus. 1980s, 2022, and now 2026. That's a lot of progress, in my opinion. So, Canada, they've already won, in my opinion. This is a great achievement, being the last 16 teams out of 48 left at the World Cup. But it's going to be an uphill battle against Morocco. And you could call Morocco one of the modern greats. This team is a great team. In this decade right now, they teased in 2018, but in this current decade, the 2020s, Morocco has been one of the great teams. Top 10 FIFA rankings. They will host the World Cup in 2030, so expect to see them again. And expect them to get past Canada here in the round of 16. Morocco to win it in 90 minutes. 2-1. A tense finish. Tense finish, however. It's going to be a good game, not a one-sided match. But the co-hosts, Canada, will be dismissed in this match. In my opinion, Morocco into the quarterfinals to face one of Paraguay or France. Could they get to the semifinal again? It would take getting past Canada first, and more than likely, France. It is possible once you believe. Could Morocco do it? Guys, that's my prediction. Let me know yours in the chat. Subscribe if you're new, like the video if you haven't yet done so. And until my next one, peace out. Rich Squad. I actually did that because I'm going to clip this out. That's why I did that. It's not over, guys. It's not over. Big up to David Lampard for dropping the €1 super chat. Definitely appreciate that. We have Kev is saying for sure my prediction as well. Side note, you have an opinion. Do you have an opinion of Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay into qualifying for 2030? Because they're playing their first group matches as ceremonial matches. Well, I actually haven't really looked into that, to be honest. You know, I'm just keeping it real. I haven't looked into, I don't want to go too far ahead, but that is something I definitely have to look into. Auto qualifying, yeah, I have not looked at. I didn't even realize that was actually happening, to be honest. I didn't. So that is something I learned today. But if they're gonna play the 100-year World Cup, basically to celebrate the 100 years of FIFA World Cup and ceremonial matches, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, nothing's wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that. That means we would have 6 teams automatically qualifying for the tournament, right? Yeah, nothing is wrong with that, you know. It is what it is. Maybe those teams would have qualified anyways, you know, but what it's going to do is going to make things harder for some of the lesser teams in, it's either going to make things harder or easier for some of the other teams in South America. Just like the USA, Mexico, and Canada automatically qualifying for the World Cup, it actually left them out of qualifiers for teams like, you know, Haiti and Curacao to benefit. Because let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Let's keep it 100. If the USA, Canada, and Mexico were in World Cup qualifiers, do you think Haiti and Curacao would even come out? Chances are very, very low. Very, very low. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but these are some things that we will definitely discuss in the future. 2030 World Cup and so on and so forth, you know. So that's my prediction for Canada, Morocco. I'm going to actually clip that out and put it out as a video. I'm going to actually clip out all my the reviews and stuff and put them out as separate videos just because, you know, just because it's the right thing to do. You know, that's a great way of putting out content, repurposing your live streams. So that's why you have to structure your live streams in a way that you could repurpose them. So with that being said, taking a little, it's 7:42 a.m. I still have a little bit of time before, you know, everybody wakes up, my wife, my son. So yeah, we have a little bit of time. I guess we could take a look at the 2030 World Cup, right? I guess we could do that. 2030 World Cup. I haven't really done any research on the 2030 World Cup, to be honest. Like really sit down and like, yo, let me do some research into this. Let me find out some things about this. So you could see an AI overview here of the World Cup, right? Let's take a look at the AI overview. All right. So the AI overview. The 2030 World Cup will be the first tournament hosted across 3 continents. Oh, this is what's going on. I didn't even realize that this is what's going on. You see? I didn't know this. You know? And I don't know everything. I've been very rusty when it comes to doing my research and things like that. I've been very rusty. Not gonna lie. You know? And the average person is not even looking at 2030. Let's keep it real. So let's go back. The 2030 FIFA World Cup will be the first tournament hosted across 3 continents spanning 6 host nations: Morocco, Portugal, and Spain, alongside centenary celebratory matches in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay, running from June 8th to July 21st, 2030. The event will mark the 100th anniversary of the inaugural tournament. Host locations and format. To celebrate the centenary of the inaugural 1930 World Cup, I don't know. I don't know what I saw there, but yeah. To celebrate the centenary of the inaugural 1930 World Cup, Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay will each host a single opening match, with Montevideo, Uruguay, also hosting a special centenary ceremony. The remaining 101 matches will be held primarily across Morocco, Portugal, and Spain. Due to the complex multi-continental travel, FIFA has extended the tournament to 44 days, making it the longest World Cup in history. All 6 host nations automatically qualify for the 2030 tournament. Currently, the tournament is slated for a 48-team format, though officials have proposed expanding it further to 64 teams. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man? 64 teams? But I have a feeling the fact that they're flirting with the idea that it's going to happen in the future sometime. If it doesn't happen in 2030, it might happen in 2034 or even a 2038. So keep that one in mind, guys. Definitely keep that one in mind. So let me continue reading here. I'm learning. So these are the, all right. The event will kick off slightly earlier in South America before shifting to the primary host stations in Africa and Europe. June 8th to 9th, 2030. Centenary ceremony and opening matches in Uruguay, Argentina, and Paraguay. June 13th to the 14th, 2030. Official opening ceremony and the start of the group play in Morocco, Portugal, and Spain. July 21st, the tournament final. So, yeah, which country is actually hosting the final? Let me click this on final. Which country is hosting the final? It's probably Spain. Okay, why do I have to subscribe to this thing to just see? Yeah, I listen. Which country is hosting it? Final will be, yeah, at the Bernabeu or Camp Nou. If not, then the stadium they're building in Casablanca, which is supposed to seat 115K people. So it could be Morocco too. Big up to Marcel for dropping a super sticker there. Definitely appreciate it, man. Marcel, I know you love the streams, man. I know you love the streams. I appreciate you coming through. So for a visual breakdown of how the Six Nation tournament is structured and the history behind its format, you could watch this video here. Stadiums and venues, and you know, I'm gonna actually try to put together 2030 World Cup video. Yeah. These are things I used to do in the past, you know. 6 countries already earned a way to the 2030 World Cup. What to know? Six Nation chaos, 8 trillion, Sky Stadium. If you thought the World Cup was crazy, then yeah. Oh, that's the stadium you're talking about in Morocco? But I learned something new today. I did not even know it was Six Nations. Seriously. I didn't know. I'm there talking about Paraguay. And look, if I check my notes here for the Paraguay-France game, I'm pretty sure I wrote down something about that. Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Let me find that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wrote down something. Nah, I didn't, but still. I'm pretty sure I was going to say something about that. Paraguay will be at the freaking World Cup, man. You know? The Sky Stadium is 2034 World Cup in Saudi Arabia. Okay. We ain't that far yet. My bad. Oh, man. Oh. All right, guys. I'm getting a bit tired, you know. I've been live for 2 hours. Let's do the France versus the Paraguay-France preview. Suspended 3. Is that stadium gonna be in the place, the neon place, the city that they're building, or suspended 350 meters above the desert? Yo. Oh. Yeah, let's do the preview for the France Paraguay game. Yeah, I'm definitely tired. I need some more sleep. Let's go back to the 2026 World Cup. And guys, there's still a lot of work to do, man. Still a lot of work to do. I gotta do the Brazil, Norway. I gotta do the Mexico, England, the Belgium, USA. All these previews I gotta write up. But they're not difficult. I just gotta get them done. You know, I gotta write up these two today and try to get them done. To just put out the videos, you know, for the ones who are interested. So, Paraguay, France. All right, let's do this. Big up everybody in here, man. Once again, guys, if you haven't yet liked the video, 2-hour live stream. I think this is the longest live stream I've done. Yeah, I think this is the longest one I've done so far during the World Cup. But yeah, this is not a bad method, though. Not a bad method to do the live streams. I had planned to clip the videos out of this anyway, so but it's not a bad idea to just, fill you guys in on what I'm doing in the background, if you get what I'm saying. Paraguay versus France, round of 16, 2026 FIFA World Cup. This game will be played in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. How did they get here? For Paraguay, they played to a 1-1 draw with Germany, winning 4-3 on penalties. Could you believe it? Paraguay. No disrespect, not to underestimate Paraguay at all, but not many of us predicted this result at all. At least not me. For France, they brushed aside Sweden, winning the match 3-0. It was basically a stroll in the park. Easy does it. Full of blur. Paraguay make it to the knockouts after missing the last 3 World Cups. And between 98 and 2010, Paraguay were a staple at the World Cup. They did their thing. They had a lot of legendary players. And then, poof, they just disappeared. But guess what? They are back. And they will also be at the 2030 World Cup as well. So maybe they could use this as an opportunity to just build a bit of continuity again when it comes to the World Cup. So let's see. For France, the 2-time champions, are aiming to make it to a 3rd straight final. Got out the group basically unscathed. Got past the round of 32. Now they're in the round of 16. And I think they have a very, very favorable matchup here with Paraguay, who are going into the match as underdogs. But we all love an underdog story, right? We all do. Could they knock off another European giant in France here after taking the scalp of Germany? In terms of head-to-head between these two teams, they've met on 5 previous occasions, with France winning 3 and 2 games ending in a draw. So Paraguay have never defeated France. They don't need to win the game. They just need to advance on penalties or, they could win the game, but they don't need to. Penalties would be good enough because the game ends in a draw and it goes to penalties. They met at the 1958 World Cup where France won the game 7-3, and the legendary player Just Fontaine scored a hat-trick in that match. And they also met at the 1998 World Cup where Laurent Blanc scored that infamous golden goal. I could remember it like it was yesterday. And the golden goal rule was, if the game goes into extra time, then the first team that score win the match. So you score the goal, the game ends right there. There's no more playing around. If 90 minutes is over, if the goal is scored in the 93rd minute, then the game ends. But they have since abolished the golden goal rule to now play 120 minutes, and if the teams are not separated, to take it to penalties. Who are some players to watch here for both Paraguay and France? For Paraguay, I went with Julio Enciso, who scored a goal in the last game against Germany to put the Germans under a whole ton load of pressure, and that goal eventually gave Paraguay a chance to get in their defensive shape, and they love to play a more defensive style of football. They don't mind playing without the ball, and, everything worked out for Paraguay taking the game to penalties and winning it eventually. Orlando Hill, the goalkeeper, will be an extremely busy man in this game, I'm predicting. Midfielder Matthias Galaza was amazing in the win against Germany. He was everywhere, and he deserves a lot of credit here. He needs to repeat that performance. Could lightning strike twice? You never know. As for France, players to watch, there's many. We could talk about all their players because they're very talented. But I'm going to identify the quintet. They don't all play at the same time. But the quintet of Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Michael Olise, Desiree Doué, and Bradley Barcola. There's been a rotation of Doué and Barcola. So I don't know if for this game we're going to see Doué come back in. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. These guys, two guys pose a tremendous threat to opponents. They're going to take a lot of stopping. Just like we've seen so far at the World Cup. They're going to take a lot of stopping. If you stop them and you have a chance, let me rephrase. If you stop them and you take your chances, you win the game. And you'll do it within 90 minutes as well. As for the lineups, for Paraguay, would Gustavo Alfaro tinker and change a winning lineup? The team that defeated Germany. But I think he would look to freshen things up a little bit, maybe bring in make 1 to 2 changes. Who knows, maybe in defense. But the midfield balled out in the last game. So I don't know which direction he'll go here, but I expect 1 to 2 changes. As for France, Didier Deschamps have been rotating his team. He's been rotating the left back, been rotating one midfielder, and he's been rotating the winger with Bradley Barcola and Doué. Is he going to do it again? Are we going to see N'Golo Kante in this match? You never know. We might just see him. But I could see 1 to 2 changes as well. Maybe a Luca Hernandez come in. Who knows? We haven't seen him at the World Cup. Maybe Luca Hernandez start this game at left back. I doubt. Maybe his brother Theo starts at left back. Could we see a right back change with Malo Gusto coming in for a Jules Koundé? You never know. In the midfield, could we see Manu Kone coming in for a Chouameni or even a Rabiot? N'Golo Kante, that's a long shot. But maybe we'll see Doué coming for Barcola. Or could we see both Doué and Barcola start this game with Ousmane Dembele coming off the bench? I doubt we'll see Ousmane Dembele off the bench, though. But it's crazy how Ousmane Dembele scored a hat-trick in the previous game, and then he didn't really have a lot of opportunities in the last game, though. You know, these players are messing around with us, man. Need a bit more consistency. So, 1 to 2 changes, in my opinion, here for France. Prediction. Paraguay has a 6% probability of winning this game and a 12% chance that they'll take it into extra time. So that's an 18% chance that they have, basically. With France, a resounding 82% probability that they will take this one. And guys, to keep it real, do I need to even explain myself or get deep into this? I know I'm going to underestimate Paraguay, and most of us are. Maybe even a lot of Paraguayan fans are going to underestimate the team or predict France because, listen, in reality, it's going to take a mammoth performance to beat France. You see what I mean? They won the 2018 World Cup. They went into the 2022 World Cup and played basically in second gear. And Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick in the final. And they still lost the World Cup. So, listen, Argentina did something special. This France team, virtually unstoppable. And note I said virtually unstoppable. It's going to take a virtuoso to stop France. It's going to take a legendary player to stop France. Someone who you could consider a cheat code to stop this team. So I'm going to predict a resounding. I know this might sound like I'm disrespecting Paraguay, who are going to set up defensively, but I don't think it matters how you set up against France. They're going to find a way to breach. They're going to find a way to breach you, man. You saw how Mbappe skipped through that Swedish defense? 4-0. 4-0, man. 4-0 to France. And I don't think there's any shame to losing to France 4-0. Hell of a team, man. Could we see a situation where Paraguay takes it to extra time? No. Could we see a situation where Paraguay wins it in 90 minutes? No. France all the way, 4-0. You can come back and clip this if Paraguay to go on to win the game. But that's my prediction. Let me know yours. Subscribe if you like the video if you haven't yet done so. Add something in the comments. And until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Listen, Fly on the Wall says, what's with the uncivilized behavior from Senegal? Should be banned from further competitions and more spots given to European teams. These teams take the quality of the tournament way down. When you say uncivilized behavior, what are you talking about, though? What are you talking about? I want to know what you're talking about. But at the same time, right? Why would you give more spots to European teams? I just want to be, I'm curious. Why European teams? Why not say give more spots to South America? You know, maybe let all the South American teams play in the World Cup without qualifying. Why not give more spots to Oceania then? I know you're talking about the quality, but do you think teams like Bosnia improve the quality of the World Cup? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for a friend, you know. Just asking for a friend. Do you think Sweden, the way they're playing right now, improve the quality of the World Cup? Because Sweden were garbage, if you ask me. You see what I'm saying? These African teams played way better than a lot of these European teams at this World Cup. Morocco knocking out Netherlands. What do you think about that one? You think more teams, more places should be given to European teams? Why? So that we can see who? Romania? So that we can see the great Bulgaria back at the World Cup? So we could see Italy, who have failed to qualify for 3 straight World Cups, back at the World Cup? That's what you're talking about? That's what you mean? Fly on the wall? But when you say uncivilized behavior, are you talking about the way they acted in the game? The emotional breakdown? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Because I didn't see anything wrong. I didn't see them do anything uncivilized. Maybe I turned off the TV after the game was done, and maybe something else happened. I don't know. But enlighten me, though. Enlighten me. What are you talking about? Please enlighten me. I've been waiting for you to answer the question, and you haven't. It's now 8:05. You dropped this comment 8 o'clock. Come on. Answer me. I want to know what you're talking about. Let me know. Because I don't know what you're talking about. But guys, right there, we just, I think maybe referring to Ecuador instead of Senegal. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, though. But 3 matches reviewed, 3 previews done within 2 hours. That's a lot of work. Little hangout, chatted a bit, you know. Chatted a bit, you know. But it's been nice. It's nice being back, guys. It's nice being back. Definitely nice being back, doing this, and still some things I gotta do. Still some things I gotta do in terms of the channel. I gotta update my channel banner. Definitely gonna update the channel banner. You know, things that listen, things that we could do around here is basically like you know, things that I used to do, like we make the thumbnails while I'm live. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do these things, but these are things that I could actually do. You see what I'm saying? Let me see something. Let me see a window. Yeah. See like this? This is my channel banner, right? Let me see. This is my channel banner from the last World Cup. I did an update, but I need to update my current banner. So, you know what I mean? Things like this, you could actually do, while I'm live, stuff like this. Update these things. This is so old. You know what I mean? Because I need a new channel banner, I haven't updated these things in like so long. Just to go back to the old, just to go back to the way things were. Yeah, this was a lot of patchwork right there. See? So I think this was like my old banner design. My old banner design. There's a few things that I need to tweak. Yeah, the players I need to change out. Let me see. What is this rectangle doing? Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Took a lot of work to get this the way I got it. So, yeah. How is it right now, though? Let me double check and see the way it was right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just need to switch out the players. That's all I need to do. Basically, just switch out the players. Once I switch out the players, I'm going to be all right. Let me see this rectangle. No, not. Yeah. Is it that? Let me see. I don't really need to do anything there, though. Yeah, I don't need to do anything here. This is a very complex channel banner. I don't really need to do anything there. I think what I need to do is just change out the players. Yeah, I just need to change out the players. That's all. Change out the players, and yeah, I need to work. That's something I need to work on. I don't think I'm going to work on it right now, though. But it's definitely something I need to work on, though. Photoshop. But big up everybody. Same thing they did in the Afghan final. Oh, all right. You answer now. Did you not see the whole fiasco they pulled after the Belgium penalty? Oh, you talking about that? You talking about the player laying down and listen, man. You gotta understand. I don't think that was any. They weren't gonna stop the game. They weren't gonna walk off. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. You know what I'm saying? The referee decided to give a penalty, they give a penalty. I don't think it to go as far as to say to ban them. I don't think so. And you say the same thing they did after no professionalism. Listen, all teams would behave like this. You haven't been watching the games. All teams deal with the referees like this. Look at how the Bosnian manager was. Perfect example. Look at the way the Bosnian manager was acting yesterday. Yeah, no such behavior. Tell that to the Bosnian manager yesterday and the dugout. You saw the way they were behaving? You see what I'm saying? When you're losing, these emotions come out. Note who behave like this. The teams that are losing. If you're losing, you're going to behave like this. And guys, I no longer have the free version of StreamYard, so I could drop things in the chat now. I could drop stuff like this. You know? You know what I mean? I could drop my bomb, but the bomb might be a bit too loud though. And the bomb might scare people. I remember when I used to drop the bomb. Guys, be prepared for a bomb. It's coming, okay? A bomb is dropping right now. Remember the bomb? Oh man, I'm back. I am back. Yeah, I had to get rid of that free version, man. You can't do a lot with the free version. You know. I need to change my channel banner, the background here as well, to a World Cup background. Let me see if I could find me a World Cup background to put up. 2026 World Cup. Yeah, I need to find me a background. Let me see something. 2026 World Cup. Let me find a background. Let me find a background to put up here. Let me find banner. Banner. We're gonna put up a, oh, this one is nice, yo. I like this. Oh, this one is for sale. I don't wanna buy one. I wanna actually download something for free. It's like a flag. There's the banners at, boy. Let me see. All right, this is not a bad one. A lot of them are like low quality though. I need something with high quality. Let me see something. Damn, why can't I find one, yo? I have one on my laptop, so I might just upload it from the laptop because right now I can't really find what I'm looking for. I know exactly what I'm looking for, but I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find what I'm... Oh, you know what? I think I found what I'm looking for. It's not perfect, but you know what? Let me just upload it from my laptop, man. Let me upload it from my lap. Actually, forget about it. Forget about it. I'll just download it and upload something from here. Just an example. Let me see. Okay, not that. Add more. Add files. Let me see. Downloads. Yeah. No. Let me see something. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. I just downloaded a freaking thing and I can't find it. What is going on? Just downloaded a file. I don't know where it went. Oh, it went to the desktop. All right, so this. See? We got a World Cup 2026 themed background right there. And I mean, I should have got that up already. But in terms of my channel banner there, guys, channel banner. Who would make the channel banner, man? Who we got on the channel banner? Any suggestions? We gotta do some what you call it soon though. Some transfer videos. The transfer videos are gonna be fun. There's been a lot of big, oh man, look at this guy, Demo Dre. Demo Dre is in the house. And Demo Dre, man, listen, perfect timing, bro. Perfect timing for this right here. Oh, we got background, we got applause, we got, yo. We even got background music now on here. Perfect timing, Demo. Look at this, Demo. You remember this? So I got Demo Dre with me. Where do you think Liverpool will place next season?
Liverpool will definitely be top 4. Don't worry about that, Dom. Easy.
I thought you should say you're gonna win the title, not top 4.
No, we'll see after the transfer window.
Oh my goodness, yo. Listen, man. Liverpool play. What did Liverpool place that season? Like ninth? Oh man, you said top four. That was never confident, man. Never confident. But Demo, when last you been to that park though? You still in Queens? You still come to Queens or not? Or you stay in Connecticut now? Let me see. We have Michael Olise. Michael Olise. So Michael Olise is suggested to be on the thing, the banner. I wanted to use more Premier League players, but I guess I could use Olise, right? I like this image of Olise right here. Yeah, I like this image right here. Let me see this image right here, right? Let me see this image of Olise right here. So we got Olise, Bayern Munich. Kind of transparent image there. But go put Olise there. You can move that Messi. Oh no. And we go put Olise right there. We could give it a little inner glow. Yeah, that red inner glow looks good. Make it a bit redder. Red for Bayern Munich, you know. Yeah. I don't want to make it too intense. But yeah, that's Olise there. Any other suggestions, guys? Any other suggestions? Who you have? Who you have for the Yamal? Ooh, oh, you moved. You're in Portland? What? Portland, Oregon? How the hell you end up there, bro? How the hell you end up in Portland, Oregon? Jeez, son. Wow. Portland. Would have never thought about that. Wow. Lamine Yamal. Yeah, let's get some of the stars up there, you know. Let's get some of the stars up there, man. Let's get some stars up in there. Let me see. Some of these players are not so photogenic, you know. Let me see. I need some cool pictures, though. Let me see. This one's not too bad, but I guess I could use this one. Yeah, I use this one. It's not bad, but I'll use this one. So we got Lamal. Got Yamal going here. This is a big ass image. Image is mad big. I'll make that smaller. They put Yamal over here, right? They put him over there, right? So we'll put him right here. But let's remove that background. Remove that stupid background. Bam. That should be gone. The magic of Photoshop. Yep, see? That's gone right there. And we're going to bring him down a little smaller. Proportioned. Bam. So we can move Cristiano Ronaldo from there. This was from 2022, guys. So really outdated with this banner, man. And this was me like photoshopping his arm too. Let's get his arm out of there. So Yamal. All right. So who else we got? Who we gonna have in the center, man? Lionel Messi. All right, let's get Messi in the middle. You know, Messi's still the boss. I don't think Ronaldo is gonna make the cut though. Ronaldo won't make the cut. Let's get Messi up there. Is he gonna get Messi for Argentina? Messi for Inter Miami? Let's get him for Inter Miami. Yeah, let's get him for Inter Miami, you know? Yeah, I think so. Inter Miami. I need a good one, though. Let me get a good one. I need a decent one. There's a lot of them, but I need like the when I see the right one, you know the right one when you see one. I like this image right here, you know. But yeah, that one's cut off a bit. That one's cut off. Let me see. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a second there. Sometimes Messi ain't so photogenic, you know. Yeah, this one's not bad. I like this one. This one's not terrible. Yeah, this one is not terrible though. Let's use this one, guys. Let me make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing. Long story, but I'm gonna pass back to New York this month for a couple of weeks. Yo, my number is the same though. My number is exactly the same. So when you come back, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Let me see. Let's go. Let's finish this thing. Messi. Let's get Messi. All right, come on. Damn, what happened? My thing froze. All right, we got Messi here, right? We got Messi here. Bam. Let's remove the background here and get Messi up in here. You know, easy does it, guys. Easy does it. You gotta have all the tools, man, to do this thing. Photoshop, background music, editing softwares. Yo, listen, this is not easy. This is not easy, man. At first it might seem easy, and then you're like, yo, I want to get to the levels of this guy. You know? Like this guy's videos is so good. Why my videos suck? You know? And then you want to upgrade, you want to get mic, you want to get better cameras. You know? All right, so we're going to make that white. We're not going to make it so. I'm going to make it so big. Yeah. So, all right, let me make this a little bigger so you guys could, yeah, it's a little too big, a little too much zoomed in. So that's what the thumbnail looking like so far. We need 2 more players to put on here, guys. Who are we going to put on here? Need a Premier League player for sure. Who from the Premier League I should put on here, man? Any suggestions? Premier League player? Erling Haaland. I gotta represent for Man City, right? Yeah, I gotta put a Man City player, of course. Erling Haaland. Yeah, let's put Haaland up there. Let's put the boy Haaland up there. Haaland is a legend, man. Oh, I have the other player that I want to put up there too. Ousmane Dembele, man. I gotta put Dembele up there. Ballon d'Or winner. Dembele is nice. I know Mbappe. There's a lot of players. You know? There's a lot of players, man. But I gotta put Ousmane up there, man. I gotta put the ooze. Gotta put the ooze up there, man. The ooze is on a different level these days, man. The hat trick was just different. But yeah, we winding down the stream. Then my wife gonna go to work just now, so let me just finish doing this. Let's finish doing this. Bam. Let's remove the background. Let's get Holland up in there. You know. You guys just see the way I do things and the way people do things. You know. I might have to make the Olise a little bigger. Put Holland out here. Yeah, I might have to put Holland there. Let's move Lewandowski. We're going to put Holland there. We're going to bring forward Olise. Yeah, I'm going to bring forward Olise. Actually, I'm going to change that Olise image. It's transparent. I need to change it. Let me see. Let me change that Olise image. If I could find another one like that, that'd be good. Let me see. Ah, boy. Actually, I'm gonna just use a picture like this. I'm gonna use this one. Let me use this one. This one is not the one I wanted to use, but let me just use this one. Yeah, let me just use that one. Whatever. I wanted to use one with him celebrating, but it is what it is. Yeah, let's just use this. So it might be a bit lame, but it might be a bit lame. But we're going to use that one still. You know, and how am I going to cut it out? Easy. Easy, man. You know, just cut it out to make it that length so that it's not below the freaking banner. Easy. Easy. Wait, did I do the wrong one? Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Oh, yeah. I actually did the wrong one. So now what I got to do, I just got to remove the background for this. Easy. But definitely thanks to you guys for hanging out with me today. Definitely appreciate it. Did a lot when it comes to this stream, man. You guys don't even understand the amount of work I did in this stream. A lot of work. This is a lot of work done in this stream. You know, let me see. Inner glow. Yeah, I don't like that inner glow. Overlay. Yeah, screen. Opacity. Alarm. Yeah, that might be it. That might be it. All right, yeah, that's a good Olise picture. And one more, man, one more. I could make Yamal a little bigger now. One more. Oh, I have Usman Dembele already. So let me put Usman Dembele, and that will be it. That will be it for the stream. Well, it for the banner. A new banner. Move Neymar out of there. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Yeah, now I can move the background again. Yeah, that looks good, right, guys? That looks good. Maybe I could change up some of the colors and stuff, but that's where we at so far. Yeah, that's where we at so far with the banner. I like that. I like that, you know. Yeah. I was thinking about messing with the colors here. Yeah, I think there's like a little mask over this that I could mess with the colors, but yeah, I don't want to mess around with that right now. Yeah, I don't think I want to mess around. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right here I could mess around with those colors right there. I might need to change my theme. This was the normal color, the blue right there. Yeah. The ice blue. It's not a bad color. That purple and green. I like this purple and green. I like that. I like that purple and green. Yeah, I like that purple and green. But to get the purple and green to match the gold, yeah, it's gonna be hard because that text is not I can't edit that text. I can't edit that text. But I like it though. I like it. Let me mess around with it again. I need something to match the I need something to match that. Yeah, the purple isn't bad though. Purple isn't bad. I like this though. This is what I really like. This is what I really like. F it. I'ma use it. I'ma use that. I'ma use that. I'ma use that. What do you guys think? Raphael, how are you, man? How are you? How are you? I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah, it looks fire. I like that. I like that. So I'm gonna save that right now. Let me save that. Yeah, let me save that. Let me see. Export. What do I save this as? Is it a JPEG or? Yeah, let me save it as a JPEG. The channel banner 2026. I have not updated my channel banner in a minute, yo. Yeah. So you're gonna see the updated version on the channel pretty soon. You know, and I probably need to do the profile picture as well. Let's getting things back up to speed, you know. Almost 3 hour live stream, guys. Definitely thanks a lot for tuning in. It's my time. Gotta go now. More work to do. Look for the clips. Look for the Morocco, Canada, the Brazil, Paraguay previews. Look for the clips of today's matches. Yesterday's matches. You know, just to put them out separately. So guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Subscribe if you new, like the video if you haven't yet done so. And until my next one, peace out. Rich Squad. Guys, I got the music in the background, you know.